Thank you for that. Okay, comfort, acceptance, and assurance. Comfort, acceptance, and assurance are life's rewards that the average person demands immediately. The extraordinary achiever, however, chooses to work without any of them for a time in order that his or her family might enjoy vast helpings of all three for generations. Comfort, acceptance, and assurance are life's rewards that the average person, underline the word average. We're going to be having a conversation today around being different. We're going to have a conversation around not being average. So somebody's writing what page? I'm from The Little Things by Andy Andrews today, and it's all over. I can't really give you a page, but let me see if I can help you at least get the right destination. It starts on page 83 of The Little Things, and then from there, it's all over the place. Now, if you don't have that book in your library, please get a copy of that book. Incredible book. The idea behind The Little Things, now first bunny trail, we should count how many bunny trails there are every morning, right? You've heard of the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, right? And you should absolutely sweat the small stuff. It's the small stuff that makes up the big stuff, right? And I've shared this before, and the question that I ask when I'm sharing Don't Sweat the Small Stuff is, Diane, have you ever been bitten by an elephant? No. You ever been bitten by a mosquito? Yes. See, it's the small stuff that'll get you. Right? Sweat the small stuff. That elephant ain't going to do anything. So be different. Now, why do very few people realize extraordinary results? Everybody wants to make a difference, but very few are willing to be different. Everybody wants to make a difference, but very few are willing to be different. Now, if you're anything like me, when you were a teenager, your number one job in life was to fit in, to be like everybody else. And we don't realize that, but as adults, most of us never move away from that. We're still trying to be like everybody else. We're trying to fit in. And what I'm telling you is, in order to be extraordinary, you have to be willing to be different, not to be like everyone else. Everyone wants to make a difference, but very few are willing to be different. Most of us reach and maintain a level of average excellence that aligns rather closely to the achievements of our peers. So I want you on a piece of paper, I want you to, if you're taking notes, I want you to put you in the center of the paper, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 people that you spend the most time with outside of your family. Look at each of their lives, what they've achieved, how successful they are, how much money they make. Money is just a scoreboard. The conversation is not about money. But when I say money is a scoreboard, I mean it lets me know how I'm doing. It lets me know how I'm doing on my job. If I'm in sales and I get paid commissions, then money is a scoreboard that tells me how many touchdowns I've scored, how many sales I've made. That's all. Now, Money is also good for the good it can do. Give it away. I don't care what you do with it, but make as much as you can. All right. If you looked at these 5 people, I promise you, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Whether you're trying to or not, you are. Now, that's a different conversation than we're having today. That conversation would be get a better tribe. And it's not the conversation we're having today. Because I want you to focus on you, not those 5 people. And I don't want you to compare yourselves to those 5 people or anybody else. I want you to compare yourself to your potential. Most of us reach and maintain a level of average excellence that aligns rather closely with the achievements of our peers. Average people compare themselves to other people. Now, if you saw my Facebook post this morning, that was it. Average people compare themselves to average people. Here's the rest that I didn't put in Facebook because I didn't want to lose 20 friends. Average people compare themselves to other people. That is why they are average. If we feel that we are oh, this is good. I'm going to say this really slow because I want you to just close your eyes and think about how you behave. Because I'm going to talk about you. And you're going to think, did he do this for me? Is this for me? I promise you it's not. I promise you it's for all of you, including me. Matter of fact, nobody could have shown up this morning and I would have had this conversation to the mirror because I'm just talking to me and you guys are listening. If we feel that we are slightly ahead of our peers, we feel justified in relaxing a bit. We take our foot off the gas. Look around. I'm doing just a little better than everybody else. I can take my foot off the gas and just relax a bit. As a team leader, I am compared to others. There's over 900 market centers in this company. Trust me, I am compared to all 900 of those other team leaders. Now, as a team leader, I have this thing called 2-10-40. It means I'm required, if my standard is 2 appointments a day, 10 a week, and 40 a month. Another standard is gross 10, net 5. Now, my average gross over the last 6 years is gross 15. So I'm usually ahead of my peers. And if I look around and it's the 3rd week of the month and I'm at gross 14, I can take my foot off the gas. If I'm comparing myself to everybody else, I'm doing okay. I can take my foot off the gas and coast just a little bit. But if I close my eyes and put those blinders on like that racehorse and forget there's anybody else who's a part of this race and I just focus on me, then I am full speed ahead right to the very last minute of the month. This is you as well. This is average. If we feel that we are slightly ahead of our peers, we feel justified in relaxing a bit. If we feel we are somewhat behind, we work harder to catch up. True or true? True. On the other end of the spectrum, extraordinary achievers do not compare themselves to other people. On the other end of the spectrum, extraordinary achievers do not compare themselves to other people. Who do you think Michael Jordan compared himself to? Say no one. He was in a league all by himself. Instead, they compare themselves to their own potential. And what might that be? Instead, they compare themselves to their own potential and what might that be? Here's the answer to that. And what might that be? Whatever they choose to think. Whatever they choose to think. Anything is possible. All things are possible. Everything is possible. In most cases, extraordinary achievers become comfortable with being seen as different or even odd or weird. Long before they achieved that level of success they were after. Before they achieved the level of success they were after, they got comfortable with being different. They got comfortable with being odd. They got comfortable with being weird. Long before they achieved that goal that they were after. If you desire to live life on a different level, that destination will not be reached by traveling the same road everyone else has chosen. If you desire to live life on a different level, that destination will not be reached by traveling the same road everyone else has chosen. You can't get there on this road. If you want to be different, you're going to have to be different. If you want to be different, you're going to have to be different. There are not many extraordinary achievers. That is why they are considered to be different. There are not many extraordinary achievers. That is why they are considered to be different. Okay, talk to me. Who thinks that was about them? Jennifer's raising her hand. I've got hands up in the room. And as much as I love you, Jennifer, I promise you that I was not up at 2 a.m. thinking about you. I promise you.
You should work on that.
I should work on that? Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So the first thing.
John, I'm hoping you were not thinking about me at 2 a.m. either.
Thank you for that, Brian. Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah. Diane, talk to me.
So the first thing that comes to mind for me is that that's the difference between a leader and a follower. That's just the first thing, because it's okay to be a follower if that's what you're happy with, but most people do live their life in quiet desperation. So it's just narrowing it down.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be a follower if you follow the right person.
That's why if you surround yourself with the 5 right people. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, everybody's following somebody. We all are. Even great leaders are followers. You're always a follower before you were a leader, by the way. And great leaders are also great followers too. Absolutely. Bethune.
I think it's really cool that we're talking about the whole average thing today, because Gary Keller kind of harped on it last week at Mega Camp.
Yeah.
He took a moment to say that when he would hire agents, a question he would always get is from them is, what does the average agent here make? And he would always say, well, if you want to know what the average agent makes, you're going to have an average mindset and an average lifestyle. Why aren't you asking me what the top 10% makes?
Love that. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thank you, Mithun. I agree. Guys, if you're in Zoom world and you have an aha or a question or a comment, please put your digital hand up. Yagada, talk to me.
Good morning, John. That's very interesting. Being different, there are some people, they're very weird. and that doesn't guarantee success. You know, they're way too weird. So I see that. That's what I want to say.
You know, it's interesting. So I'm going to share a story that Andy shared in this chapter that he used, and you just nailed it right there, by the way. When his children were younger, he was on a trip, and before they left to go on a trip, it was a family vacation. He grabbed a handful of a new children's book that he had just written, and he put those books in his suitcase. And he suggested to his children that when they were in the airport, they would have an opportunity to go up to other families that they saw who had children and give them a copy of Andy Andrews' new children's book. And when they were on the last leg of that trip, he was packing and unpacking, and he noticed that none of the books had been given away. So he asked his boys, he said, "Why haven't you given away any of the books?" And their response was, "Well, it would just be weird." And his response was, "What do you mean? Tell me why that would be weird." And they said it would just be weird to walk up to a total stranger and offer them a copy of this book. And Andy said, "So wait a minute, let me understand this. So if you were to walk up to a family and you said, 'Hi, my name is blank, and I have this book that I would love to give to your son or daughter. It was written by my father,' and you handed them that book, are you telling me that they would think you're weird?" And they said yes, that they would. And it's because that's not normal. It's not, but it's not weird. Here's weird. And Andy says, now listen, if you walked up to them and you stuck out your tongue and you threw the book at them and then you turned around and ran the other way, that would be weird. That's not the type of weird that I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for the type of weird that you hold the door for people when they're walking in the room. I'm looking for the type of weird that you say, "Yes, ma'am," and "Yes, sir," versus "Yep," and "Yes." And I'm looking for the type of weird where you begin a conversation with, "Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate you." That's the type of weird that I'm looking for, guys. Not the type of weird where you stick out your tongue and throw something at people and run the other way. That's weird. If you see that when you're walking along Miami Beach, well, that's normal. And go the other way.
So, John, you are saying basically just have manners, which is really, common sense, kind of.
It's an
which
example.
A lot of people don't have.
Yeah, Yagada, it's an example of being
Okay.
right. It's an example of being different. Yes.
Right.
I'll give you so many others. Clarissa came to me a couple of weeks ago and said, "John, can I offer to take that beat up copy of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent to Office Depot and have it bound for you?" That's being different, right? Maybe a little bit weird. And Clarissa immediately went to the top of the list of people that I want to be around.
Because she allowed you to think something different that you wasn't thinking about at the time.
Thank you. I agree, Carolyn. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, John, so since that's my mom, do you automatically want to be around me too?
Erin Coddington, yes, of course.
Oh my gosh. What did he say?
He
Don't
said,
try to take your mom's thunder.
don't take, that's right. Tell him, Carolyn. He said, since that's my mom, you want to be around me too. I'm like, well, yeah, of course. What am I going to say? No.
You have no choice.
Let your kindness be the reason you stand out. Jennifer, I love that. Absolutely. Right? Yeah, absolutely. By the way,
say something?
Weird to be nice to someone who's being a jerk to you. That's weird, right? Somebody's yelling at you on the street, driving down the road and they're giving you hand signals, telling you which way to go and all that kind of stuff. And your response is, how you doing? Hope you guys are, hope you're having a good day.
It's
Weird.
every time.
Yeah.
They don't know how to continue to be rude because you just gave them the opposite of what they were looking for. They don't know how to take that.
Right. When I'm walking, and I walk a lot, right? And when I'm walking through the streets of Coral Springs and I'm walking down the sidewalk on Lakeview Road and somebody's coming the other direction, I'm smiling and I'm saying good morning. And they're looking at me like I have three heads. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he talking to me? I'm still going to smile and I'm still going to say good morning. And because I do this every day, I see a lot of the same people over and over again. And they're probably thinking, oh my God, here comes that weirdo again. I wish I'm going to turn around before he comes up to me and starts talking.
That's, John, that's so funny because when I'm in New York City or in a city, I actually say hello to almost every person that gives me eye contact. And my kids are like, Mom, like that probably made their day better. It's okay.
Yeah, be different. Somebody asked if they could say something and I kept talking. So I apologize. Whoever that was, please jump on.
It was iPhone. I don't know his name, but I don't see him on. So maybe he thought he was having difficulty.
So iPhone jumped off.
No, it's he's connecting now.
iPhone, talk to me. By the way, that's weird.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Daniel Betesh. I'm the father of Brian.
Awesome.
Love your son. Very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to be in this class. For me, really, what you just say and what I'm listening, for me, it's extraordinary. It's excellent. I don't have words to tell you how much I appreciate what you're saying now. Normally, when you say you are walking and you say hello, good morning, or when you open the door or you hold the door to somebody to pass, I'm trying to be like that in my life. The only thing, sometimes they say you are too formal, and I like to be formal. I like to be different. That's what I can take from here, and I will do it more and more every time. I was thinking that I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong.
No, sir.
I think I'm different. Yeah. As you said, I'm correct and respectful, and yes, that's what I like. Yes, my father taught me this, and I'm very proud to say it.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to. Thank you.
Very powerful.
I'll be teaching our children that right now.
Is that incredible, Jennifer? Right?
Incredible.
Yeah, and I have the opportunity to talk to Brian every morning, and I've been impressed with this young man since day one. And Daniel, did I get your name right, sir? Yes. Now I get it. Of course, he's awesome. He has an awesome father.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Rashad, talk to me.
So yeah, just to build off what Daniel said, yeah, like extraordinary people have to be different. And I think a message that you make clear to us is that we need to be leaders, and that a lot of us are leaders already. Mm-hmm. And also to build off of what you said, you know, you're talking to people that don't want to be talked to at the moment. And I was even like reading and doing some research, and I found out that humans are natural social creatures. So for, you know, and a lot of us just want to be led. And it's great that, you know, you say that, you know, no matter what, you're smiling and positive, and you're always in being infectious to other people. And that's something we all need to implement in our lives.
Love that. Love that. You know, I think I've got the word right. Somebody look it up for me and tell me if I do or don't. Stoic. Okay. I want you to look up the meaning of that word. And if I'm right, if I'm using the word the right way, a stoic is a person who is always the same person on the outside, regardless of the adversity that's going on inside of them. Now, if I'm using the wrong word, please let me know.
Oh,
Did I use the word the right way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone referred to me one time as a stoic, and I'm like, what does that mean? I have to look that up. And when I read the definition, of course, it was a compliment. And I was truly grateful for that. And that is my goal, that I could be going through the worst time of my life. And when I show up for you, you're not going to know it. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be transparent. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't share our lives with other people. But what it does mean is we are intentional about creating and transferring positive energy. When you have feelings inside of you, whether you know it or not, whether you try or not, those feelings are acting like a radar that go out in all directions up to 10 feet. It's scientifically proven. Be a person who lights up the room when they walk in the room versus a person who lights up the room when they walk out of the room. All right. Anybody else have anything to share? Because I definitely don't want to stop until everybody's had a chance. Quick survey of the room. I don't see any little digital hands up there in the air, so we're good. Sarah, talk to us.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for letting me in. I have to say, I miss role-playing script practice with you guys, Survive to Thrive. I'm usually in a meeting from 9 to 9:30, but I drive home with you on Facebook Live, John, on Survive to Thrive.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm just excited to be here. So just ready to keep it moving.
Thank you, Sarah. And I think you jumped on a little bit late. So please go back and listen to the recording because you're going to love it. The whole conversation was on being different. And I think you'll like today's coaching call. Matter of fact, I know you will.
I like them all.
Thank you for that. Thank you. You're too kind. Okay, time to get to work. What is work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18. Not 17, because when we settled for 17 conversations, we don't have the 18th conversation, which could have been $1 million listing that we didn't get because we didn't have the conversation. Make care calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude. Bring value to every single conversation. Focus on getting an appointment, getting a referral, adding somebody to your database, and building a relationship. Find somebody today that is thinking of selling their home. Whether it's next week, 30 days from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now, doesn't matter because a year from now, you're going to need listings. Meet with somebody today that is thinking of selling their home and then follow up forever because you reject rejection, because no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember that people will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. And Teresa, when you follow up forever, you're creating emotional proximity, which means they're going to hire the person who is closest to them when they get serious about selling their home. And when you follow up forever and they make a new decision based on new information, Clarissa, that new decision will be to
Hire me.
Hire me. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. It was awesome spending time with you. I'm just going to stop record. I'm not